Welcome to the latest News Just News weekly video. I'm Simon Wilkes, and I'm joined, as always, by Lucia. Hello, Lucia.
Hello, everyone.
And Adam. Hi, Adam.
Hello, everyone, again.
This is we're getting into this now, and we're starting to enjoy it, and we're getting a bit of a flow going. So we're not going to bother with the intros this time. We're just going to get straight in, and we're going to kick off with some music news from you, Lucia. You've written an article this week around Childish Gambino, or Donald Glover, as many know him. So, what's the news that's going on with him this week?
So basically, he finally clarified what's happened last year when he had to cancel a huge chunk of his world tour. He hadn't been on the stage for almost 5 years. I think the last time he performed as Childish Gambino was 2019. And then basically in October, he had to cancel a lot of dates in October 2024, obviously. At the time, he only said that it was due to him having to have a surgery and then, having his time to recover from that. But basically, this year, he performed at a festival and he said that he actually had a stroke, which was obviously a huge deal and a really big news. And loads of, people talked about it online. And he said that the main reason was because he started having a headache and then he couldn't see well. So he went to the hospital and the doctor actually told him he had a stroke. And he's only 41, so he's really young. And he said that this obviously opened his eyes and he made him realize that, you only have a life. And he actually said something really nice, which was, they say that you have two lives and the second one starts when you realize that you only have one. And basically, yeah, he's now back on tour, and he said that even though this has happened, he still wants to continue with Childish Gambino for a little bit. Although we know that his venture as Childish Gambino is coming to an end, and he's been saying this for ages. Like he started saying this in 2017, but it feels like this time maybe we're towards the end of it for real.
Yeah, and you put in your article that he's recently there's been the birth of his second child. So he just must be hitting a point in life, and it must be exhausting, like being that kind of character going. Like Adam, is Childish Gambino an artist you've kind of been aware of and enjoy, or what's your take on this?
Yeah, well, I think especially the huge hits like This Is America, I think a lot of people also don't know that him and Donald Glover are the same person.
Yeah.
But so, I mean, I guess, when you combine them together, I mean, he certainly has a massive career across just all media. He's certainly not going to be, lying down if he gives up the Childish Gambino music side of him. But, doing all of that as well, it's no wonder, he's, his body's tired from all of that. And obviously doing tours, I don't think that I've ever heard of a single tour where the artist hasn't had to cancel it due to some kind of illness or something. So yeah, it really must, it really does take it out of these people.
We talk about this whenever I go to a concert. We kind of go, the high that they must be followed by such a low, which is why a lot of artists, I think, find ways to try and sustain that high. Robbie Williams has kind of had lots of ups and downs, and like you say, it must be exhausting when you've got this alter ego. You've got Marshall Mathers, who has Eminem, and Slim Shady. It's just being one person is tiring enough. But how would you feel? Do you feel the body of work? Do you feel like Lucia, if he does step back from Childish Gambino, he's got a legacy, right?
Oh yeah, absolutely. And also I feel like loads of people know him mainly for his acting career or producing career and writing career. He's a comedian. I feel like his career as a comedian is the biggest part of his career anyway. So if he continues with that, I think he'll be fine. But obviously as Childish Gambino, he produced really good music for quite a long time now. So I think he's got a legacy.
Brilliant. Excellent. Right, well, we're going to move from music to gaming, Adam, and this is your world. You've just been explaining to me what a Steam machine is, because I'm in my 50s now, so this is different terminology to what I'm used to, but there's some exciting news in the gaming world, isn't there?
Yeah, I mean, I don't think it's quite the Steam machine of the old trains that might have came out around your time, Simon, but
ouch.
My kids.
Come on.
Yeah, so this is definitely my world because I am a PC gamer. I know I've spoken about The Sims on here, so PC is definitely my world. And so yeah, Steam, which is basically it's the PC gaming company. are coming out with the Steam Machine. It's like a hybrid PC console. So obviously at the moment you've got PlayStation and you've got Xbox, and then this is a separate thing for PC games. So you've obviously got all the things with that of like modding and, you know, all the edits that come with that. Modding is definitely my favorite part. I've never been a console person, but I think for me, this is certainly like, it's gonna be for a niche market, but it is, you know, people are playing it down because it is niche, but there are so many PC gamers. So I think this is definitely huge news for them.
And just to talk about it sounds like it's going to be, there's no release date yet, but it sounds like it's going to be priced at around the same sort of range as a PC, isn't it?
Yeah, so they've said it's going to be priced competitively with a PC, bearing in mind that's a gaming PC, and obviously with all of the AI and crypto, which has just skyrocketed all of the PC components. So I've heard it floated about that it's going to be about £600, so like $800, which is obviously a whole lot more than a PlayStation or an Xbox. But then again, that's why I go for the sort of unique feature of it, of being, you know, this isn't for console players, this is for PC players. And I think at that price for a really good PC, because it's got 4K visuals, 60 FPS, you know, this will be a good PC. And I think for that price, that is a good, actually competitive price.
And we've got a gaming section on News, just to give a little plug to the website. We've got a lot of writers that enjoy gaming. It's just a huge world. It's kind of become this world where, I mean, it's often been said that now the gaming industry makes more money than Hollywood and movies. You know, if a new game comes out, would you attest to that, Adam? Is it something that, you know, when there's a new game that you love, is it something that you kind of queue around the block to get?
Yeah, it's definitely huge, and the waiting list, and I think also the budgets. Like these are big Hollywood budgets now. When you consider it, it does go into the millions. We've heard of GTA 6. That's obviously in the millions. That's been delayed again and again and again, just because these games keep on getting bigger and bigger and bigger as well. So, you know, I think with there's a lot of stuff coming out of China as well. Obviously, I always see the China stuff, and I think it is quite an exciting time to see, you know, where these things are going. Obviously, we have the Nintendo Switch 2 that came out, I think, earlier this year or last year, and there are all of these different players and different things coming into it. I know as well, Steam also announced they're doing a new VR, and that's something, I don't know. That's a different thing, I think, and there's more stuff with VR, but I don't think it's ever taken off quite as much as a lot of the other things.
I think it's a younger world. Like my son's 17 and all he does is VR. I tried it for about a minute and felt sick. So get me on that Steam train. That's all I'm going to say, Adam. Just as a final point on the Cube, the actual device, it's like 6 inches by 6 inches, is it? So it's quite cute, and you'd be able to put it. It's not going to take up too much room by the sound of it.
Yeah, I think it's just meant to, you know, to just go next to your TV like any other console.
Brilliant.
So,
Okay, that sounds pretty nice. Excellent. Talking of TV, nice segue. Lucia, you've been busy this week, and you've been writing about the return of a much loved 2000s comedy. Tell me more.
Yeah, basically, Scrubs is coming back on TV. Just the other day, EW released a sneak peek, so like a first trailer, although the show is going to come out on ABC from February onwards. And it's just a little trailer, but it got loads of people excited already because it's showing the main cast of the show. So you've got JD, you've got Turk, you've got Elliot, Carla, and Dr. Cox, and they're all there. And JD just like shows up and he goes, "I'm back, baby." And it's very exciting. And he starts talking to this group of new medical students. Obviously, they have no idea who he is, but obviously we do know who he is. And yeah, it's very exciting. Obviously, Scrubs was, you know, a very well-loved show, a very popular show, became a cult in the 2000s. And it offered this very like fresh, lighter take on medical shows. Because at the time we had ER, we had like stuff that was a lot heavier. And although, you know, Scrubs had emotional moments, it was just, you know, very funny and very enjoyable to watch. and it ran between 2001 and 2010. So it's been a while since it has, been on screen, and now many years later, we're back with it. Yep.
Yeah, it kind of launched Zach Braff's career, didn't it? He was very much the star of the show and went on to do movies and produce movies. And it was brilliant because it cut through the noise, didn't it? It was like you looked at it and you thought, oh God, no, not another medical drama. Adam, I know you didn't watch Scrubs in particular. We'll come back to it in a minute, but which sort of medical dramas did you want to talk about? Because you've seen a few, haven't you?
Yeah, there's a few that I've come into. So I think Grey's Anatomy I'm a lot more familiar with. And then does anyone else remember Nurse Jackie? I don't know how much that sort of came over to the UK, but I know, especially on TikTok, like that's sort of come back now. Those are definitely mine. But yeah, not Scrubs. There are so many. There's like so many British ones as well, like Casualty. I wonder what it is about medical dramas that are so universal, I guess.
I think the appeal, and like you said, Lucia, it ran for 9 seasons, but the main cast ran for 8 seasons. There was one without them. I think you mentioned that Dave Franco starred in the 9th one, but it's the main cast that we all remember. And it's for me, it sort of sits up there with like Friends, as in if you stumble across an episode, you know what happens, but you're going to watch it anyway because the comedy beats, the chops of it were brilliant, weren't they? So it's really good news. It's exciting, and will you be tuning into it, Lucia, this new one? Do you think reboots are good, or do you think we should be challenging the creative industry to come up with new ideas?
I think it depends. For most things, I would think that it's better to have new ideas. But obviously, if you have like the main cast and the product is good, then I'm open to it. And I think in this case, obviously, I don't think we'll be able to reach like the heights of the original show, but I'm hopeful it's going to be good.
Well, all I'll say is be careful what you wish for, because last week I went to see the reboot of Running Man. Now, by all accounts, this was like one of my favourite 80s movies being rebooted by Edgar Wright, who is like an absolute hero of mine. He's done Spaced, he's done Hot Fuzz. And I went with my best mates that I went to university with. Everything was aligned, and it was just a car crash. Just none of the fun, none of the kind of like personality. Just it's so disappointing when you I think it's hard when you have high expectations of something, but sometimes they deliver. But I do kind of feel like, really, should we reboot? Some things just need to be left alone, because reboots are not always a good thing. Okay, so welcome back, Scrubs, and we're excited about that. Head to News Just News for loads more analysis and news and opinions of gaming, entertainment, sport. We won't really mention Liverpool at the moment. I know you guys are not in there, but it's not going well for them. Lucia, you live there. Are you feeling that? What's the energy like in the city? Because they can't seem to get into this sort of like lull in form that they're like.
Well, I've been like reading an article this morning, and they said that they haven't been this bad in 70 years, which is like, I think that's all we need to say about it.
I know, and it must affect the mood of the city. It really must. The football club is so synonymous with the mood of the city. So there's loads of stuff going on. We've got analysis of the Ashes on the website as well. It's England versus Australia down under. So there's loads of reasons to go and visit that website, consume some content, and then obviously, hit us up on the subscribe button on the YouTube channel and keep coming back, because we'll be here every week. Right, I think we're going to wrap things up there. Thank you very much for joining me, Adam.
No problem. Thanks for having me on, Simon.
And many thanks, Lucia. We have a feeling, Adam, that we're going to ask you to review the budget ahead of the next call. That's going to be something that we just thought. Sometimes it's quite nice to just let the dust settle, let everyone kind of like say what they need to say, and then calmly, coolly, as the journalists and experts that we are, disseminate it and kind of give our thoughts on it. So that'll be what's coming on the next video. And we will see you again next week. Bye, everyone.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.